Hello, lovelies, and welcome to my channel, My Intuitive Sense and My Two Cents. And this is Christina. Well, today's intuitive reading is very interesting. It's interesting for me because I did not expect it. I really didn't. Um, I believe in divine orchestration, and I try to stay in tune and be open as much to the collective consciousness, to the infinite consciousness. And sometimes I just get little messages or little pieces, and then all of a sudden a moment will come, and I'm going, okay, time for you to do something here or implement something. So, what happened was I had come across, I don't know, I was just scrolling on YouTube, some shorts, and I came across Tyla, the singer, who's very popular right now, and I do like her music. I don't know it all, but I do like it. Of course, her most popular song, "Of the Water," or "On the Water," or "Give Me Water." Sorry about that. That I'm not very good at. I'm just more about the beat, and it makes me feel good, makes me move, and I enjoy it. But I really didn't pay attention to the words at first, and now the words are giving me a little bit of a freaky vibe. So, putting that aside for a moment, I then saw a picture of the amazing singer back in the day, Aaliyah, or Aaliyah, however you say it. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. And they were both wearing the same dress in a different color. And immediately I was like, what is going on here? This is intentional. Like, I right away felt it was intentional. But who was it intentional from was the question. So I started to tune in a bit more. I started to look at, see when Tyler was born and when Aaliyah passed away, also when she was born. I sort of just tuned into that a little bit as astrology wise. I am not versed in that at all. I just tune into things, and if I get information and I start to see patterns and things like that, so, and vibration, etc. So I have my own method in my head. And something started speaking to me here. So then a little while later, I started to say, or to myself, that, wait a minute, is Tyla the reincarnation of Aaliyah? And then I started to feel that really, really strongly. So I had to double check also when Aaliyah had passed. So it totally fits in that way because, and it's very quick though, but she did pass some months before Tyla was born. So it would be very possible that she was the reincarnation. And I thought, okay, let me sit down and really tune into this. Let me kind of go and tune into pictures. This is what I like to do because I'm a very visual person. Let them speak to me on a soul level, from a greater self, and then I began to write. Usually I just do on the fly intuitive readings or intuitive, just speaking. This one I sat down and I wrote. And it was very interesting because I posed the question, is Tyla, the singer, the reincarnation of Aaliyah? And I was thinking, oh, yes, is going to be the immediate response. But that's not what happened. But there was much more that came after that. So I find this very interesting, but I can feel this to be within myself. I can only speak, from me. I have no facts and proof, tangible proof out there. And you can't do that from the metaphysical world. You know what I mean? Very rarely in this regard, especially of a soul that's already passed, etc. And then tell the story that, oh, they've come back, unless that soul that comes back, which a lot of children these days are really happy. I'm sure you guys have come across this. A lot of people are children are telling stories, remembering their past lives or a past life. Unless Tyler starts talking about that and saying that she is, that's not really gonna show anything. So I tuned in and I said, okay, just speak to me, and this is what came through. I'm just gonna read what I wrote because I feel like there might be a bit more later. But so what I wrote was, for now, Tyla, she is her own soul, but has made an agreement with the soul that was Aaliyah to incarnate and establish a path in music. She remembers to some extent this contract, which means that she's probably going to have maybe more in her subconscious that as opposed to in the conscious mind exactly. It's there somewhere within her being. So when the time is for her to, when the time is right, or when it's, I believe in divine timing, so it'll be exactly when it needs to be, she will merge with the soul of Aaliyah. Her music will then become more expressive in the way in which the industry takes control of artists. And that could be expressed through words or images or symbols or just little clues. Who people who are kind of like lifetime fans of Aaliyah, still to this day, they'll recognize it. I think some already are seeing something. They're seeing something. So yeah, in which the industry takes control of artists, how they play a role, in their demise if they do not conform to what is expected of them in order to have fame. So somewhere, whether through the lyrics or the music, she will give clues about that. And those who are quick to notice, quick to tune in, will pick up on that. So, how she does it, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if that comes to pass. So there will be many references to. I think she's gonna make a lot of references to Alea. In what way, I don't know yet, because sometimes things do not play out until like that moment. I mean, if she's pre-recording things or if she's writing, I feel like it'll come through more in the writing of her music. The public, her fans, will see this. Though, on one hand, the industry is trying to mold Tyla as they tried and did to some extent Alea. Tyla, though, is very, in my feeling right now, and I'm not tuning into her very, very deeply, is very strong willed. Her passion is music and living this to the fullest. The industry sees this and is pushing her popularity. They see it, but they're behind it. They're the machine that can just make it go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. And it doesn't mean she is talented, and you can see she loves what she's doing and she loves being out there, etc. But they are the ones that push that behind there. It will be given a price. It will be a price. So, meaning, which many people are already aware, that there's a price to become very famous and rich. Um, there's a price to pay, and they're kind of consistent in the different things that they do. Like sell your soul. Basically, that's what it is. Because if you're not aware, which many aren't, but more and more are becoming aware with what is being revealed as truth is unveiled in this time and age we're in. This is where we're at. Truth being unveiled. Truths that have been hidden for a long time. These people understand on some level very metaphysical and esoteric teachings, but they use them for selfish purposes, for control, for their own benefit. So they weave that in there, just like, so in my example is that they have them sign contracts that they basically, sign their life away, their soul away, up until afterlife. Like, why would you need to do that? Because they do understand. They do understand that we never really die and that we exist in other realities and our soul lives on, etc. So many of them understand this. And so that's the price that you pay. You pay on a soul level. But I know in my heart that they cannot have full control because the creator, infinite being, is the one that is in control. And it's not even about control, but it is the one that is the creator of all. So they can only go so far with anything that they do. And then there's the individual soul who also, if it's left the body, physical body, can also make decisions itself. So here, I do not feel that Aaliyah was um, controlled afterlife as well. I don't feel that, or she's bypassed that. She's past that. So this is where I think she has come together with the soul of Tyla. So I don't know when, and I don't think I'm supposed to know when, but there will be a merging of the souls of Tyla and Aaliyah. Um, Hopefully, Tyla doesn't get too pulled into it. Hopefully. It's very enticing um, to be living this life, and to have whatever you want and get whatever you want and live and be popular and everything. It's very enticing. The ego can thrive on that. So hopefully she doesn't get pulled too far into that, into the hype of fame, and allow, that to overtake her or overtake her contract. This is a contract, is what I feel. That's the best word to use. It's an agreement, I'll say an agreement, um, for them to work together so that they can, in kind of defeat the industry from repeating the same fate that happened to Aaliyah and to many other artists. For Tyla, I recommend and I hope that she surrounds herself with authentic and caring people who are in the business and understand the business, but they are more like guardians, um, and on the right side of things. So I feel like we will start to see at that point when that happens, when the merging happens, when the merging, in my understanding, and again, I don't have any proof of this, but is that soul, Alea's soul, will come in. I don't know if it's fully or it's partially, but will come into Tyla's being, so they will merge within the body. And then you'll start to see a lot more obvious, I think, maybe obvious um, actions or just resemblance. Like, you might even see, now Tyla's very young, so she's, we change as we grow in our looks externally, as well, and we might start to see a little bit more of her looking like her, at least in photos, and maybe even in dress, which I already think that's there. I already feel that same kind of style, and freedom in her sexuality as well as innocence. I feel that for both of them. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more reminders of Leia in Tyla. Pay attention to subtle references and maybe, it through appearances or concert engagements. It's going to start to show, I feel. And I'll be very curious if I'm correct in this, so I will observe it because I'm not someone that really follows too much of the mainstream artists out there. If I come across something they like, I like it, and if I feel them. But these days we are really seeing that industry being unmasked. It's being uh, revealed. Um, they can't hide anymore, and this is just because of what we're going through right now on this planet as a species. What the infinite creator is, written. This is what's going to happen. So, in order for us to evolve, we need to transcend all that darkness that doesn't serve us anymore, so that we may live fully in who we are here. And that's happening. That's a different topic, but that's what's happening right now. So, this is very interesting. I don't feel like I can say anything else right now, but maybe later we'll see what happens. Or I'll follow the progression of that. If I start to notice or pick up any more, maybe from them, either as souls, I might get the information, or I'll just observe it out there, out in the world, and see what we are shown. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any thoughts or comments, I would love to hear them. Please feel free to express yourself nicely. Or if you have questions or you have any recommendations of anybody else you would like me to tune into,